Hey guys, how's it going? This is Deadly, and today I'm going to be doing some Walker Assault on Hoth. This is gameplay commentary, and mainly I'm going to be using the fighters, because I'm a huge fan of the X-Wing, the A-Wing, the TIE, and the Interceptor. They're all really good, and I'm starting to like the Speeder, although the beta is over now. I did actually start to like the Speeder at the end, because if you know how to fly it, then you can really end the entire game in the final uplink if you just know how to get close enough and balance number 4, which is actually pretty easy. Just to kind of throw this out there, I am using keyboard and mouse, and I find flying wasn't that bad. You just need a pretty decently sized mouse pad to handle it. So that's kind of a big deal. If you don't have a whole lot of space with your mouse, it's, I don't know what to do. Mess with the sensitivity and kind of get it to work. So you're going to be seeing me starting off and killing the ATST. For all ground targets, you'll see me go into the first-person perspective, because if you don't, your icon, your target area, is actually going to start to shake in third person, making it very difficult to actually land any types of kills with the third-person camera. That's the only time where I'll use the first-person camera whenever flying in the fighters. Any fighters the same way. If you're kind of going towards the ground, you'll notice that your vehicle will start to shake. And in first person, you can really line up your shots, and especially go right behind these ATs and use your rockets to just blow them up. As the rebels on Hoth, your main strong point is your fighters. So in order to actually win this game type, you're going to either need to be extremely lucky by getting orbital strikes at the right time, or you're going to have to have a kick-ass fighter pilot team. That's probably the only way you're going to be able to win it. Without air superiority, the ATSTs are going to just rock all of your troopers. You're not going to be able to hold the uplinks, the first uplink and the final uplink very easily, and you're not going to be able to dish out as much damage as you could have on the AT-ATs. Also, what's really fun too is if you learn how to fly these things, it's kind of stupid, but a lot of people fly the TIE fighters and the X-Wings like it's an RC car from Call of Duty. So they just get the kill streak thing, they get the reward right at the beginning of the game, and then they take the fighter and just crush into you, which is really annoying for people who actually want to dogfight, but there are ways you can avoid it. Just kind of, my strategy is just by trying to dodge the first TIE fighter or X-Wing that comes out of the base right at the beginning of the game, because most likely they're just going to want to run you down, especially if you're a competent pilot. A lot of times whenever I'm flying around, and there's a couple games where I've been like 40-0 with the fighters, people just try to ram me. With the X-Wing and the A-Wing, you do have that invulnerability shield. Sometimes when I use the invulnerability shield, I can actually ram other opponents' spaceships and survive, and other times I can't. It seems to be really wonky on how it actually works. And obviously, hold right click to target and you can shoot a rocket at them. It won't kill them immediately, but it'll do some serious damage. And obviously, as the X-Wing, you get to see when a missile is targeted on you, which is really useful. You can just pop your shield whenever you want. You can also use F1, F2, and F3 to kind of dodge while you're in the air. So while my shield is down, you just see me press F3 and the missile went kind of right past me. And now I'm pretty much safe. I can use my shield again and target some of the new TIE fighters. Here is the biggest problem that I have with flying. Maybe it's just on Hoth, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a problem in other areas as well. And it's something that you need to utilize, but unfortunately it sucks for the enemy team, or it can happen to you. Whenever you spawn into the game, the fighters are locked in a cinematic, and you can see them on the map. You can see them as these little red circles, which is kind of annoying. So every single time I'm flying around trying to kill these ATSTs, I'm looking at my map to ensure that, hey, there's no other fighters that have spawned in the game, I'm good. So whenever one spawns in, obviously I have to keep air superiority. I have to fly over there, and I have to deal with that threat. So it's going to look like I'm spawn camping them, but in all actuality, I'm really just trying to hold rebel air superiority. I'm getting behind the enemy, and you got to get close enough to target the center command pod of the TIE fighter and the interceptor. If you shoot at the wings, it doesn't really do anything. So if you get close enough and you're like in a dogfight and you're shooting at your target and you can kind of see the pings on the spaceship, that's not really doing any damage. You need to hit them in the cockpit, or else it won't do anything. That's kind of what I've noticed anyway. And also, unless they're flying extremely straight, you need to be very, very, very close to actually do any damage. So one good thing about the TIE Fighter is you get that speed boost. So if you're in a dogfight, pump that speed boost, get extremely close to your enemy, and just start firing into them. And they start, maybe your enemy will do kind of like a break turn, and if you can kind of follow that and break as well, you can kill the enemy outright. It's pretty easy to do. And obviously with the X-Wings, it's pretty devastating to any ATSTs that are out there. Especially if you have air superiority, you're going to be able to use those rockets and just kind of dive right behind them in order to kill them. And I also have a couple other competent pilots with me. We're not in a party or a team speak together, but when the game actually comes out, I would love to actually get into a group with a number of competent pilots. I found flying to be the most enjoyable part of the Battlefront beta for me. I just loved every aspect of it. I would play for hours just flying the fighters because I thought I was pretty good at it. I'm not as good as somebody who's not using a keyboard and mouse. Somebody who's using a joystick is probably going to beat me in a dogfight. But for the most part, I did pretty damn good, in my opinion. So anyways, the first uplink is down. Our team only has like 3 Y-Wings. That's barely anything at all. So I'm going to start to focus on the AT-ATs, get close enough to aim for the neck and drop some bombs. That's going to do the most damage as possible. But as you can see, we're already down to 1 Y-Wing, so that's not even really enough time for me to kind of get around. So instead of actually doing additional damage on the AT-AT, I opted to keep my air superiority and go after the TIE Fighter, who was trying to kill my friends. And we make fairly short work of him. Good try though, buddy. Good try. With 2 really good X-Wings, it's going to be hard to take us down. But valiant effort. Now, second phase, when you're on the Rebels, is a little bit more complicated. One of your uplinks are inside of a cave, so you're not going to be able to defend that very easily with the X-Wing. You can do some, I guess, some runs, some blaster runs, if there's somebody inside one, like just before the cave. But there's actually the Empire spawn is to the right side of the hill, just before where the defend uplink is, right in front of us here. So if you can actually do some pretty interesting blaster runs, that's where the Empire spawns in. So you can utilize that and start taking out enemies pretty easily with the fighters. And also keep in mind, remember, first person is probably best there. You'll see me do that later on in the video. Taking out another TIE Fighter. That's 11. I think that's 11 kills so far with the X-Wing, which isn't too bad. But obviously people are starting to get pissed off at me, and they're going to start using their ion shots. So taking blaster damage from the ground actually hurts a lot. If you have a competent team, and a competent enemy team, they see you flying in with a DLT-19 with an ion shot, you can do some pretty insane damage to a fighter. At the moment here, we're currently overrun by a number of TIE Fighters. I have 3 fighters on me right now, trying to bust my shields to make sure that no one will shoot a rocket at me, but it's looking pretty grim at this point. I got the missile incoming, I know what's happening. I pop my shield at the final second, I ram one of the fighters, and unfortunately I'm getting close. I'm 4% HP. Shit's getting pretty crazy up here with lots of fighters, lots of X-Wings, lots of TIEs. I'm trying to help my friends, and I'm down to 3 HP, and we're able to make it out. But what I'm going to have to do here is use the shield whenever I see an enemy, because one blaster round, even from the ground, it's going to really kill me. So I'm doing some dive bombs. I see some enemies, getting in position with first-person camera, dropping the bombs on them. Works pretty well. And I'm kind of in distance where I can see where the enemy is going to be spawning in. I can also get some height, but right now to the enemy, I'm just leaving a big black streak through the air. So obviously I'm going to be starting to take damage from the ground. I'm at 1 HP. Things are not looking too hot for Deadly Slob and the X-Wing, as we're slowly moving into Phase 2, near the end of Phase 2. I do have an interceptor on me. Good thing is our A-Wings are up, so I am getting a little bit of support, but I know one blaster round, even from an infantry unit, is going to take me out. Still kind of going in with the first-person camera. I see people flying in, and unfortunately, I did get targeted by Promotion Lord, and he was the guy who took me out. Anyways, that was some fun gameplay. I do have a lot more fighter gameplay coming soon. This was definitely not the best, but I thought this was a cool clip to share. It kind of showed you some dive bombs with the ATSTs. It showed some dogfights with the X-Wing. And the next video, I'm actually going to show you guys the TIE Fighter. And I do have a couple good games with the fighters, especially with dive bombs. I do really good, especially taking out the ground infantry. So you see more of that in the future. If you definitely want to see some more Battlefront, then please leave a like on this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below and share this around with your friends. I'm going to be making more Battlefront content now, between now and November 17th. And then once the game actually goes live, obviously November 17th is a huge day because Fallout 4 is coming out and Battlefront. So I'm going to be playing both those games, and content will slowly start to come out towards Christmas time on this channel for Battlefront. So hope you guys enjoy this, and also let me know if there's anything specific that you want to see. I have pretty much everything recorded from Battlefront, so I can do my best. Alright guys, until then, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you're all super pumped for Star Wars Battlefront. I know I am.